Hello, my dears. How are you? This is Resilient Lives, touching base with you on this Thursday. I can imagine your mind is already ready for the weekend. We seem to always be a day ahead or sometimes behind. But I just want to check on you, see how you're doing. All is well here, although I am concerned with the surge of the COVID-19 because I was so eagerly looking forward to doing some other things. But we must stay focused at this particular time because the numbers, if you're a data person, if you're a science person, the numbers don't lie. So the numbers would indicate that we need to watch our protocols and hang in there for a little bit more time, which means that our holidays are going to be a little different. But we can do this. So I'm sending you some love, some energy, and some caring thoughts. Today, I went to the Arboretum. I'm sure you probably can almost guess if I say, guess where I went today? Since my outings are limited and restricted, there's not a lot of places that I am going to go, especially since we're trying to watch our protocols and stay safe. But as I went to the Arboretum, I was noticing the trees. I do enjoy the trees. Some are just so intricately designed, and the old ones are just wedded together. And as I was there, I was thinking about this book I had been looking at, which was talking about the hidden life of trees. And it was basically talking about how trees communicate. I probably mentioned a little bit about that before. It's a novel idea to me because I never thought about it. But since I started reading this book, of course, when I am walking through the trees, I'm wondering where's the connection and what's going on here as I walk through the gardens. And so it's interesting that this author who wrote this book and his group of scientists have determined that trees need to communicate and nurture each other, and that the trees that are isolated, now get this, the trees that are isolated, their lifespan is a little shorter than the trees that are in a forest. So I'll just bookmark that thought, because this is what we've been saying about this pandemic, that together is healing. And here we're looking at trees and realizing through the work of the scientists that the trees are social. They have connections, and and they send off signals. I think in one place, I think when a zebra ate a leaf or something, the tree, because of the saliva or something, it emitted some type of chemical fragrance. which warned the other trees that danger was in the area. Now, I'm just saying what the book said. But the interesting point I'd like to mention here is that we are all connected, all of the trees, and it's a metaphor. I read a poem, and it's just probably the first sentence by Rumi, which say a tree is a metaphor for life. We all need to be connected. We all need to communicate, especially now, because we're being asked to not gather in groups, to keep our numbers limited. And we started this virtual thriving way so that we could be support and communicate. And so hopefully we will continue to do that, because the more we do it, the more we see how healthy it is for us. And even in our jobs, I was also reading a book by Stacey Abrams. She's a person in Atlanta who has done a lot of work, but she talks about her networks and the need to develop wide and deep networks, and we need that for our jobs and for every facet, because I'm sure that we have different communities for different facets of our lives. We have our work relationships, our social relationships. And so it's important to just have a whole alliance of relationships in various areas, just to create a network and to create an alliance that's going to help us get through life. And so I just want to encourage you to rely on that network, because we're going through some difficult times, and we're hearing all of the craziness in the world, but we just want to live. We want to live, and we want to intentionally live a life that we'd be proud of the legacy that we are developing. But we can't just live for ourselves. So we need each other. So we want to forge some networks. We want to then be able to give back as others have given to us. We want to play it forward. And so tonight, as you approach the weekend and your thoughts and your planning for the holidays, just remember to nourish and nurture your networks, and keep the communication lines open. Together is healing, and we are definitely going to flourish. And I'm going to say, have a good weekend, and we will be talking again. Love you. Take care. We're thriving and flourishing no matter what.